on the 1st of January retaliated against the Wasp-class amphibious assault ship that staged a Christmas Day strike on Guantanamo Bay, crippling the 843-foot behemoth as it sat anchored off the coast of Venezuela and destroying the ship's complement of helicopters and landing craft, sources in General Eric M. Generals Berger and Smith, he said, began planning a response almost immediately after a maritime patrol plane identified the aggressor as the USS Boxer, a mammoth vessel that underwent extensive modernization between June 2020 to December 2021. Although technically assigned to the 13th Marine Expeditionary Force, a White Hat unit, the Boxer became property of the Federal Emergency Management Agency after Bay finished renovations. White Hats believe that military loyal to the regime trained FEMA to run many of the Boxer's systems. Enemies captured during the siege of GITMO revealed under interrogation that FEMA had put 1,500 agents aboard the ship, and that the Boxer had been stationed near the Venezuelan ports of Guanta and Cabello, industrial cogs in the country's vast oil industry. On the 26th of December, Generals Berger and Smith met to draft a response, but had differing opinions over what level of force to employ. General Smith, our source said, recommended retasking 2 White Hat-controlled Arleigh-Burke-class destroyers to bombard the Boxer with shells and cruise missiles until it and everyone aboard were sent to a watery grave. General Berger, on the other hand, suggested what he called a measured response, disabling the Boxer so it could later be captured and repaired as an asset, while avoiding excessive loss of life. He said American ships sinking an American ship with a cruise missile bombardment would draw unwanted national scrutiny and risk proliferating an international crisis, since the Boxer was already back in Venezuelan territorial waters. General Smith wanted to send that ship to Davy Jones' locker, but he deferred to General Berger since he hadn't yet taken official command, our source said. A day later, the generals conferred with Admiral Eric T. Olson, Commander, U.S. Special Operations Command, and they unanimously agreed Navy SEALs were best suited to fulfill General Berger's goals, especially since the Boxer was anchored 1 kilometer north of Puerto Cabello. On the 27th of December, 2 SEAL units, approximately 32 men, arrived in Valencia, just south of Cabello, and insinuated themselves among the population. In a country whose inflation soared from 11% in 1985 to 2,000% in 2021, money spoke volumes. The SEALs quickly acquired local informants who spoke of a large number of Americans patronizing local bars and restaurants. Some, drunk, Americans talked of belonging to a United States warship. SEALs quickly deduced that the majority of the Boxer's crew had disembarked and were either somewhere in country or had been flown stateside. They figured the Boxer had a skeleton crew. On the morning of the 1st of January, SEALs using underwater infiltration sleds penetrated the Boxer. They immediately engaged and killed 12 FEMA agents on deck, then pierced the bridge and command and control capsule. Navy SEALs, our source said, gunned down 27 FEMA operatives before planting explosives in the engine room. They also sabotaged the ship's ordnance and placed satchel charges in the 2 Sea Stallion helicopters and 2 AV-8B Harriers on the flight deck. They shot 6 more FEMA agents and 5 treasonous Navy personnel while engaged in a running firefight. No SEALs, our source said, were killed or wounded in the incursion. Once clear, the SEALs remotely detonated explosives, disabling the Boxer's engines and weapons to ensure it no longer posed a threat to White Hat forces. We've sent the deep state a clear message: challenge us and face the consequences, our source said.